The moment you hand over $105,000 for a German SUV, the clock starts ticking on one of the most expensive mistakes you will ever make. In 2026, that same SUV is worth $40,000. That is not a deal. That is a warning. The Mercedes EQS SUV lost over 60% of its value in 3 years. The Audi e-tron collapsed 75% in 6 years. The first-generation Porsche Cayenne hits owners with a $5,000 repair that requires pulling the entire intake manifold. German automakers build for the first owner who leases, who trades every 3 years, who never sees the real repair bills. The second and third owners inherit all the complexity without any of the protection. 8 German SUVs, 8 different ways to lose tens of thousands of dollars, and most buyers never see it coming until it is already too late. Number 8. The Volkswagen Touareg. Ask 10 car enthusiasts to name a Volkswagen SUV and 9 will say Tiguan. Nobody remembers the Touareg, and that forgettability is exactly the problem. The first generation shared its platform with the Porsche Cayenne and the Audi Q7, which sounds impressive until you realize it inherited their maintenance costs without any of their brand prestige. And the electronic systems are so complex that even experienced independent mechanics often refuse to touch them. The worst of both worlds wrapped in a badge nobody respects. The Touareg was named after a North African nomadic tribe, which is ironic because just like those nomads, this SUV has been wandering the used car market for years and nobody wants to take it home. When you try to sell it, buyers either offer nothing or have never heard of it. Both outcomes are equally painful, but the Touareg at least has an excuse for its failure. It was Volkswagen's first attempt at a luxury platform. The next SUV on this list had no such excuse. Number 7. The BMW X6. BMW invented the coupe SUV segment in 2008, and the market has been punishing them for it ever since. New prices started around $63,000. Today, clean examples trade between $6,000 and $8,000. That is nearly 90% depreciation. The twin-turbo N63 V8 was especially problematic with chronic oil consumption, some owners adding a quart every 1,000 miles. Turbo coolant line failures cost $2,500 to $4,000. Valve stem seal replacements run another $3,000 to $5,000. The high-pressure fuel pump is another known failure point, with replacement costs running $1,500 to $2,500 depending on labor. And because the X6 is heavier and less practical than the standard X5, every buyer asks the same question. Why did you not just buy the X5? The X6 was designed to be a statement, bold, aggressive, and polarizing. The iDrive system in early models also aged poorly, with screens developing dead pixels and software that feels a decade behind modern standards. BMW executives admitted the design was love it or hate it. The used market hates it. The X6 invented a bad idea and paid the price. But the next SUV did not invent a bad idea, it inherited one. And what Audi buried inside this engine made the X6's repair costs look like pocket change. Number 6. The Audi Q7 first generation. The original Q7 was massive, heavy, and absolutely brutal on long-term owners. The 4.2-litre V8 had a timing chain buried at the back of the engine. Replacement requires pulling the engine or dropping the subframe. That job alone runs $4,000 to $7,000. Carbon buildup on the supercharged 3.0T FSI adds another $1,500 to $2,000 every 60,000 miles. Air suspension failures cost $2,000 per corner. The MMI infotainment system is another silent killer, with complete unit failures costing $2,000 to $3,500 to replace on a vehicle that is barely worth $8,000. Total potential repair bill, if you hit all four, over $12,000 on a vehicle worth $6,000 to $9,000. The math is catastrophic. You buy a $7,000 Q7 because it looks luxurious. Then the check engine light comes on. The dealer quotes $5,000 for a timing chain job. You cannot sell it broken. You cannot afford to fix it. You are completely trapped. That is the first generation Q7 experience in its purest form. The Q7 will trap you with a timing chain you cannot afford to fix. But the next SUV on this list traps you in an even more terrifying way, because the failure does not come from the gearbox or the suspension. It comes from a single pipe hidden deep in the engine valley, and when it goes, coolant pours directly onto your engine. And it almost always goes. Number 5. The Porsche Cayenne first generation. The 955 and 957 Cayenne saved Porsche from potential bankruptcy in 2003. But in 2026, it is draining the finances of anyone who buys one used. The biggest killer is a coolant pipe that runs through the engine valley on V8 models. When that pipe fails, and it almost always does, coolant pours directly onto the engine. The repair requires removing the intake manifold and costs $3,000 to $5,000. Transfer case replacement runs $3,000 to $4,500. Air suspension failures add $1,500 to $2,500 per corner. The rear differential is another expensive surprise, with rebuild costs running $2,500 to $4,000 on high mileage examples. You find a 2005 Cayenne S for $10,000. It looks clean. It drives great. 6 months later, the coolant pipe cracks. Repair quote? $4,500. You are now $14,500 into a vehicle worth $10,000, and you have not even touched the transfer case or the air suspension yet. Porsche purists called the Cayenne a betrayal of the brand when it launched. It saved the company financially and then ruined the bank accounts of second and third owners 20 years later. The badge says Porsche, but the repair bills say financial regret. At least the Cayenne was an original idea that happened to age badly. The next German SUV on this list took a bad idea that already existed, copied it, made it worse, and then charged buyers $15,000 extra for the privilege of less space and more regret. Number 4. The Mercedes-Benz GLE Coupe. Mercedes looked at the BMW X6 and thought they could do it better. They were wrong. The first generation GLE Coupe took the already expensive GLE platform and added a coupe roofline that eliminated rear headroom and cut cargo space significantly. Buyers paid a $10,000 to $15,000 premium over the standard GLE for the privilege of less room, less practicality, less resale value. Original sticker prices north of $75,000 have collapsed into the mid-teens. Number 3. The Audi e-tron. Audi's first real electric SUV launched in 2019 at $75,000. By 2025, those same vehicles were selling for under $18,000. That is over 75% depreciation in 6 years, making it one of the fastest depreciating vehicles ever produced. The original driving range of 204 miles was underwhelming compared to Tesla when it was new. Battery degradation concerns keep cautious buyers away. Any electrical system repair still costs luxury money, even though the resale value is economy car level. The charging system on early e-trons is also problematic. The onboard charger has documented failure rates that cost $3,000 to $5,000 to replace. The air suspension still fails at similar rates, adding another $2,000 per corner. Number 2, the BMW iX. BMW's flagship electric SUV arrived in 2021 with polarizing styling and a starting price over $83,000. 2 years later, used examples were trading under $45,000, nearly 46% depreciation in just 3 years. The split headlight face and smooth body panels read more like a concept car that accidentally went into production. Number 1, the Mercedes-Benz EQS SUV. The single biggest depreciation disaster on this entire list. Mercedes built this to be the electric S-Class of SUVs. It launched in 2022 at over $105,000. 3 years later, those same vehicles trade in the low 40s. That is a loss of nearly $22,000 per year. The massive hyperscreen dashboard is genuinely stunning. The ride quality is excellent, but the software was buggy at launch, charging speeds lagged behind competitors, and Mercedes even paused US production in 2025 to realign with demand. The rear-wheel steering system has documented calibration issues that require dealer intervention, adding unexpected service visits to an already expensive ownership experience. The MBUX software required multiple over-the-air updates in the first year alone, and some owners reported losing features temporarily after updates that were supposed to improve performance. The heat pump system, critical for maintaining range in cold climates, also showed early failure rates that dealers struggled to diagnose consistently. The purchase price is just the entrance fee. The real cost is the depreciation, the repairs, and the moment you realize the badge on the hood never protected you from any of it. If this video saved you from an expensive mistake, hit subscribe. Drop a comment below. Which of these 8 would you still risk buying used in 2026, and why? I read every single one. Thanks for watching.